Hello everyone. Let us start new lesson from sociology part family. In this chapter you learn meaning of family, characteristics of family, types of family and characteristics of joint family. Let us begin with meaning. What do you mean by family? Family means living together husband and wife with children or without children for a long time called family. Meaning of family, one of the most important one mark question in this lesson. Family is an English word which is derived from Latin word famulus. Family is an English word which is derived from Latin word famulus. What do you mean by famulus? Famulus means to serve. That means it says that family will serve its members. Intention of every family is serving to its members. So in the family, every members they will perform their role according to their status. Means all will work together for family, but work is not same. Work is divided based on their age, gender, means based on their status. Next, what are the importance of family? See, first one, family is called basic institution of the society. There are number of institutions, social institutions in our society. Among that, family will play very significant role. That's why family is called a basic unit or basic institution of society. Why? Because family will send its members to other all social institutions. Best example, take example of school. School also one of the social institution from where it will get members from different families. So like that only other social institutions like political institutions, religious institutions, all will get its members from a family. Second importance, it plays important role in the socialization process. Third one, it will fulfill our basic needs. Every family will fulfill its members' basic needs. Next topic is family is determined by what? Family is created by three things. First one is kinship. Means we can see in every family blood relatives like father and son, relationship between father and son, relationship between mother and daughter or mother and son. This type of relationship is called kinship. Second one, marriage. Through marriage also new members can add another family. Third one is adoption. Suppose if they have any parents, if they have no own children, by the time they can take adopted children also. After that, after adoption, adopted children also will be part of a family. So family determined by three things, that is kinship, marriage and adoption. Next topic, most important topic in this lesson, characteristics of family. There are six characteristics. First one is family is universal. How family is universal? See, go wherever in the world, there will be a family. That means every society has family. Sometimes families will be in different structure, but that is secondary. But in every society can be seen family, and every family follow a fixed patterns. Means can be seen similarities regards to marriage, property rights, nurturing, authority, etc. And members of the family who resides means who live under same roof. So that is why family is called universal. Second one, it is the basic unit for all social activities. See, every social activities start from family. Why it's called basic unit? As I told you in introduction part, why it's called basic unit? Because every social activities start from family. Because family will send its members to participate in other social activities. Best example, school. School will get its members as a student, teachers and other staffs from families. So That is why family is called a basic unit for all social activities. Without family we can't imagine social institutions only, or we can't imagine society. Third feature or third characteristics of family is continuous responsibility and social accountability. What is this responsibility and accountability? There is no huge difference between responsibility and accountability. Both are same here. Responsibility means our responsibility towards society. Accountability means here our duty towards society. So who will teach these all? Family. Family will teach us our responsibility and accountability. Means our duty towards society. And it will teach its members how to live harmoniously in the society. Means how to live together without any differences regards to religion or caste. How to live together in the society. And it will teach some social responsibilities like it will educate its members how to keep the drinking water sources clean. Not only keeping drinking water resource, along with that it will teach us how to protect the public property, because it's our responsibility, and at the same time it's our duty also. These all learn from family. Fourth feature is bringing up and nurturing. What is bringing up and nurturing? In Kannada, it's called Palane and Poshane. See, family provides basic needs to its members, and every child grow up under family, and family will protect its members. Not only children getting protection from family, during old age of parents, parents also will get protection from their children's. It will continue like that, like this only. That means family members will get protection from family in different stage. Next one, fifth feature of family is family teaches social behavior. Most important feature of family, it teaches social behavior. Children will learn social behavior from family in their childhood. That's why family is called important agency of socialization. What is socialization? Socialization means learning social behavior and converting social being into human being. See, mother is called first teacher of child. Why? Because she will teach us mother tongue. Mother will teach mother tongue to her child. Through this mother tongue, we can understand social life, and family will teach its members how to respect elders, how to behave with the peer group, and it teaches some special behaviors, some special social behaviors like friendship, patience, love, kindness. These all learn from family. So these are together called social behavior. So every child will get social behavior from family in its childhood. After that, some other agencies will teach social behavior. That is secondary, but child will learn social behavior in the beginning stage of its life from a family. That's why it's called that's why fifth feature is it teaches social behavior. Next one, sixth and last one, it instructs the tradition. What do you mean by tradition? Tradition means our dressing style, food system, worshipping system, rituals, and whatever we celebrate festivals together called our tradition. How we can how we come to know about our tradition from our first generation, means our parents will teach us about our tradition. So tradition passes from one generation to another generation in the family. So every family will instruct, means it will teach its members about tradition. So these six are characteristics of family. Next topic, we are going to study types of family. Second most important topic in this lesson, types of family. My first question is who has divided families into different four types? There are four types of family. There are four types of families. So these four types of families divided by sociologist and anthropologist. Sociologist and anthropologist divided families into four types based on structure of the family. Based on structure of the family. So structure means based on authority, based on residency of spouse, based on generation. Residence of spouse means after marriage where they live, women or men where they will live, living that residence is called residence of spouse. So sociologist and anthropologist. Anthropologist means who are studying about human body, they are called anthropologist. They are also part of sociology. And sociologist means who are studying about society, they are called sociologist. So together they have divided families into four types. They are first one matriarchal family, second one patriarchal family, third one modern nuclear family, and fourth one is a joint family. You know about modern nuclear family and joint family, but first two are, I think, new topic for you people. Yes, let us start a matriarchal family. What is matriarchal family? It's purely women centered family. Means head of the family is a mother, mother or female member, head of the family. In these types of family, head of the family is mother. So that's why rights of property belongs to women. Rights of property belongs to women. And property rights and successorship belongs to women. After mother, property rights and successorship goes to her daughter. In case suppose if there is no daughter, by the time property rights goes to her sister, sister of a same mother. So after marriage, woman will remain in her residence called a matrilocal residence. So that means in these types of family, woman only head of the family. She has all rights regards to property. And these types of families are largely found in coastal districts of Karnataka like Dakshina Kannada, Udupi, Uttara Kannada, and northeast states of India like Meghalaya, Manipura, Assam, Mizoram, and Nayar community of Kerala can be seen these types of families. Look at here. This is the picture of matriarchal family. Here you can see in the middle central woman is there. She is a head of the family. She can take complete responsibility of family and she is only head of the family. These types of families are called matriarchal family. Next one, second type of family is called patriarchal family. So these matriarchal, patriarchal, these are difficult to write. That is why better write and practice these types of difficult words. Write and practice. Second one, patriarchal family. So this is exact opposite of matriarchal family. Why? Because what we study in matriarchal family, head of the family is a mother or woman is head of the family. But here, men is head of the family. Means patriarchal family means it is purely men-centered family. How in matriarchal family property rights and successorship goes to daughter? No, like that only. Here property rights and successorship belongs to men, and after father, men or father, after father, property rights and successorship goes to his elder son, and after father, rights and successorship goes to elder son, and spouse of residence called here patrilocal residence. Means after marriage, male members or men will remain in his home. These types of residence is called patrilocal residence, and these types of families are largely found at present also. This kind of families are there in India, and it was there in ancient Greece, Rome, India, and China societies. Look at here. This is the picture of a patriarchal family. So a man is there here in central part of this picture. He is on head of the family. So patriarchal family means head of the family is a man. Means as I told you in introduction part of this topic, family is divided into four types based on authority. So authority goes to men in patriarchal, women in matriarchal family. Third one, modern nuclear family. You have idea about nuclear family, and you know practically what is nuclear family, because we all are maximum 90 percentage people from nuclear family only, because nowadays these types of families are increased. That is why it's also called a modern nuclear family. These families are not based on authority. Nuclear family and joint families are divided not based on authority. It's divided based on generation. It's based on number of generation. What do you mean by nuclear family? Particular meaning is in your textbook. A family, when a family that consists of father, mother, and unmarried children as members, called nuclear family. That means when a family consists two or lesser than two generation, called nuclear family. Means small family, small in size. Its first feature only small in size because of less generation. Why here unmarried word is most important? When there is father and mother and unmarried children, there will be two generation. Once if they get marriage, generation will increase more than two. By the time we can't call it as a nuclear family, it will become a joint family. Until getting marriage, it's called a nuclear family. So these types of families consisted two or less than two generation. In modern days, these types of families are increased. That's why it's called a modern nuclear family due to various reasons. Why these types of families are increased in modern days? Due to various reasons, which are like individuality, individual happiness, individual achievement, change in value system regards to rights of property, rapid urbanization, modernization. Due to these all reasons, nuclear families are increased in a modern society. Means people, when people needed individual happiness means more freedoms is not there in joint family, because head of the family, anyone senior member in joint family, who is head of the family, anyone senior member, so he will control all our family. By the time there will be no freedom. But joint nuclear family is not like that. Every members are having equal power in a nuclear family. So that is why, because of this individual happiness, individuality, individual achievement, because of this all reason, people came out from joint family and formed a nuclear family. Silent features of nuclear family. Silent means here important features. Silent means important or major, or main features of nuclear family. First one is small in size because of less generation. First feature is small in size. Second one, simple social control, means there is no more control like joint family. Every members will get freedom, or every members are having equal powers. Third one is more freedom to the members. There is more liberty to the members. Fourth one, favor modern technology, means family will encourage to modern technology. Fifth and last feature is complexity, means people lead very busy life, very complexity life in small space. So these types of life is called complexity life. Look at here picture of nuclear family. Here you can see only two generation, father and mother and their children's, unmarried children's. So these types of families are called a nuclear family. Now we are in last topic. We are going to last topic, joint family. What is joint family? See, joint families also created based on a generation. When there is more than two generation, these types of families are called a joint family. So joint families always consist more than two generations. It normally consists grandfather, grandmother, their children and grandchildren. They all live under same roof and food prepared in same kitchen, and whole family has same kind of religious ceremony. And kinship will play a very important role in this family because maximum people are having a kinship, means their blood relatives. Look at here, this is the picture of a joint family. Here you can see more than two generations. Here you can see more than two generation. Look at here, grandfather, grandmother called first generation. Their children's means their children's called second generation, and their great children's called third generation. That means there is more than two generations called joint family. One more similar family is there called extended family. When family consists more than three generations, by the time it's called a extended family. There is no huge difference between joint family and extended family. But when there is more than three generations, by the time it's called a extended family. See here, look at here in the middle, grandparents and their parents, children's, grandchildren's. So here totally four generations are there: grandparents, parents, children's, great grandchildren's. So these types of families are called extended family. So last topic, we are going to last topic, characteristics of joint family. First one is large in size. First feature, large in size. Why large in size? Because of more generations. It consists more than two generation. Minimum it consists more than two generation. That's why first feature is large in size. Second one, coordination and cooperation. Means all members will work together for the family. There is cooperation among the members of family, and coordination is there. Means works are divided based on their age and gender. All will work for family, but work is not same. Example, women will work in kitchen and young members of the family will work in field, means they will produce food for the family, and children they will assist other members in different activities, and senior member will take responsibility of family. So like this works are divided based on status or based on age and gender. But so this is called coordination. Cooperation means all will work together for the family. Third one, residency and kitchen. All members, how many are there in the family? All members they will live under same residence or same house. Suppose in case if the members are separated for various reasons. Suppose if they separated for various reasons also, yearly once, at least in yearly once, they will join together for celebrating rituals. And kitchen, all will get food from a same kitchen. Next one, fourth one, religion. Members of joint family believe same religious religion, and they all will do same religious practice also, and worshipping system, these all are common in joint family. Fifth one, self sufficient. Why joint family is called self sufficient unit? Because joint family will fulfill its members needs, means it will fulfill its members basic needs. Whatever members required, no, everything will get from same family, that's why it's called a self-sufficient unit. Last point, last feature of joint family is structure of authority. See, in nuclear family, as I told you, all are having equal powers, but in joint family it is not like that. Any one senior member, it is not based on gender, whoever it is, whether it is a woman or man, anyone senior member on head of the family, he or she will take complete in charge of a family, and many times they will take a decision along with discussion of other members of the family. Whatever authority goes to seniority, based on seniority in the family. That's all. Thank you.